Hello there, welcome to our channel. Today we want to look at a question from inventory valuation, and specifically the inventory valuation is going to be specific identification and weighted average. So we have a question there from February March 2016, and it reads: Bamji stores sells two types of men's watches. First one is Jonks imported from Germany, and the second one is Quartz locally manufactured. The financial year ended on 31 August 2015. Then on the required part, first part is saying calculate the following in respect of Jonks watches on 31 August 2015. So we need to see what valuation method is being used there. So if you go down there, you would see that Jonks is using specific identification. So we are going to use specific identification method there. So on specific identification, what we are going to do is we go actually where we have the units that are there that were sold. Specific units will be sold, and we subtract the units. So we have got a column there for units. These are the columns that the units that will be there, and then the units that are sold are here. So when the units are sold, we subtract from the units that were sold, and then the remaining ones are the ones that we are going to value. For example, on the open stock, we have got 12 units that are there, and then out of the 12, 11 were sold. And then it means the one is remaining. So that's what we are going to do. So on the calculation parts, we are going to say 12 on the opening stock, units that were there for opening stock, out of 12, 11 were sold. It means one was remaining. Then we multiply by the value per unit, which is here 66,500. So say if you say times 6,500, we are going to get 6,500. Then we go to the next batch, which is on which were the next units were bought on September 2014. There were 15 units that were there. Then out of 15, 10 were sold. So we are going to say 15 minus 10, you get 5. And then you multiply by the unit cost, that is 6,800. Then you multiply by 6,800. So when you do that, let's try to multiply there, you get 34,000. So here we have 34,000. Then we go to the next item. We have got 12 units there in January, and 10 were sold. So we're saying 12 minus 10, then we are left with 2. Then you multiply by the unit cost there in January, which is 7,300. So you're multiplying by 7,300. Then we do that. When you do that, you are going to get 14,600. So here we have got 14,600. Then on the last one, we have got 8 units. We have got 8 units, and we are seeing that out of the 8 units, 5 were sold, and then we have got 3 remaining, and the unit cost that is there is here 7,800. So we are going to say times 7,800. So if you do that, you are going to get 23,400. So here you have got 23,400. So if you add now, you now add the total to get the total of the value of the stock that is left there. We've got this one plus this one plus this one plus this one. If you do that correctly, you are supposed to get 78,500. So this is the stock that we have, the value of the stock that we have in the closing stock. So enough on that one. Then the second part, let's try to see what it is asking. Right. If you look at the second part there, we are seeing that it requires us to calculate the cost of sales here. It's cost of sales. So for cost of sales, we are going to use the formula that we use in the trading account to find the figure for cost of sales. Because already we have closing stock. So the formula that is there, that is used in the trading account, is that it says cost of sales. Cost of sales is equals to opening stock or opening inventory. Then we add purchases. We subtract returns if they're there in the question, and we add carriages if they're there in the question. and then we subtract closing stock. So according to our question, we don't have purchases, returns, we don't have the carriages are being said here on point 1 that the cost of price of Jonk's watches includes transport costs. So transport cost is the carriage, and the customs are duties. So it means they are there in the cost price. So we are not worried about them. We leave that, right? So we have the opening stock. Let's now say opening stock, and the opening stock is here, which is 78,000. So we are going to say 78,000, and then we add our purchases, and then if we come here, you would see that 252,000 is our purchases. So we say 252,000. And then our returns, we don't have returns, and carriages don't have carriages. So we're now subtracting our closing stock, which we've calculated there to be 78,500. So then when we do that, we get our answer for cost of sales. So if you calculate correctly, you're supposed to get 251,500. So this is our cost of sales, 251,500. So this is the figure for our cost of sales. Right. Let's go on to the next item and see what they are asking of. So if you go there, after cost of sales, we've got average stock holding period. So on average stock holding period, we are going to say the formula for that one. We are going to say average stock as a denominator. Sorry, average stock as a numerator. We're going to say average stock over cost of sales. Then let's see, they are just saying average stock holding periods in days, and we've got 365 days in a year. We use the figure 365 over 1. So let's see if we do that, what do we find? Let's try to find out if we do that, let's try to see what we get there. Right. Right, our average stock, we say average stock is opening stock plus a closing stock divided by 2. So we are going to say half is our numerator, and then our opening stock is here. Opening stock is here, which is 78,000. Our opening stock is 78,000, so we're going to say 78 here. Then our closing stock is the one that we got here, 78,500. Then we divide by the cost of sales now. So this one is the numerator which stretches here. So our cost of sales is the figure that we've just calculated there. We just calculated as 251,500. So it's going to be 251,500. Then we multiply by 365 over 1. Like this. So here, if you calculate correctly, you're supposed to get 113.6 if you round it off to 1 decimal place. 113.6 rounded off to 1 decimal place. So that is what we have, and then the answer is in days. Our answer, we leave it in days, since we've multiplied by 365 days in a year. So it means a year is 113.6 days. This is our average stock holding in days. Then we go to second part. The second part is saying, if you come here, the second part is saying calculate the following value in rands in respect of quartz watches on 31 August 2015. They want the closing stock for quartz, and then also they want the sales figure for quartz. So the information on quartz, we're going to get it on the next page. Let's see here, it should be below that one. Let's move the page upwards. Okay. Right. We have that information is for quartz. We have the information for quartz. This is the information that we have for quartz. And if you look at the information for quartz, we want now to value stock using weighted average. And we know the formula for weighted average. We say value available for sale, value available for sale, value available for sale over number of units available for sale. We're going to say value available for sale, value available for sale over number of units available for sale. So when we do that, we get the cost per unit, the average cost per unit. So that average cost per unit is the one that we are going to multiply by the units that we have in closing stock. So to get the value of the closing stock. So if you look at the information that we have, we are told that we have 92 units here. We have 92 quartz watches in stock on 31 August 2015. That is at the end of the year. So after we've calculated to get the average per unit, then we multiply by 92 to get the value of the stock. So if you go to the information that we have, the value available for sale, we get it by saying opening stock. We add purchases. If there are carriages, we add carriages. And then if there are returns, we subtract returns. This will be the value. We'll be using value figures. And then we say now over the units figures. Now, again, we say opening stock in units plus purchases in units. And if we have returns, we also subtract returns in units to get it in units so that we get the value per unit. So according to the information that we have, according to the information that we have the opening stock in terms of value, we have 32,300. And then we add the purchases that we have in value is 259,900. And then we try to see if we have got some carriages and some returns. They're saying here, they're saying quartz watches are sold at the fixed selling price. This is the selling price. Then you go below that, is saying cost to transport quartz watches from local suppliers amounted to 11,950. So it means here we are supposed to add 11,950. And then so that is what we have. We don't have any returns that are there. So this is going to be our numerator. This is going to be our numerator. And then for our denominator, we'd also do the same in units. In units, we have got 95 here is our opening stock. So we are going to say 95 plus 675 in units. And we don't have any returns. So we are going to leave it like that. So if you do that, if you calculate that correctly, you say the total that you get here, you divide by this one, 95 plus 675. You are supposed to get 395. So it means the average unit now is 395 per unit. So having done this now, we have found the average per unit is 395. You now multiply it by the number of units in closing stock. We've got 92 in the closing stock, and we have discovered that the average unit price is 395. So using the weighted now, we are saying 395 per unit times 92. We now get the value of the closing stock. So if you do that, you get 36,340. 36,340. So this is the value of your closing stock using weighted average. So that is what we have. Let's look at the other last question that we have. Let's look at the last question that we have there. The last question is asking for sales, is asking for the value for sales. We don't have the value for sales there, but we are only told that the selling price per unit. We are only told that the selling price per unit is 520, but the number of units that were sold, we don't have them. But what we know is after when we use the formula to find what is left in stock, we say, let's put the formula there. If you say opening stock in units, you add purchases in units, and then you subtract sales, you get the closing stock. What is in closing stock? So that is the formula that we use to arrive at the closing stock in number of units and also in value. So we are going to use this one to find the number of units that were sold, the number of units that we had sold. So for opening stock, let's see the number of units that we have there for opening stock. The number of units that we have for opening stock there. If we check there, for opening stock, we've got 340. We have got 340 units. And then we add, we have got 95 units. Then we add 675. We have got 95 plus 675, and then we say minus X. Then we get 92. 95. We are going to say 95. Let's do this. 95 plus 675 that were purchased, and we subtract sales, we get our closing stock, which is, we were told that it's 92. So we want to find X. So if you make X the subject of the formula there, it becomes, make S the subject of the formula there, it becomes S is equals to 92. So we take these figures the other side, minus S, we take these figures the other side. So if you take these figures the other side, what do we have there? Let's see what we have there. Right. Let's make it the subject of the formula there. Right, so we have our formula there is 95 plus 675 minus S equals to 92. So if we make S the subject of the formula there, it becomes negative S equal to 92 minus 675 minus 95. So because when you take these figures to the other side, they change signs. So the negative again, we remove this negative by dividing throughout the negative, then S becomes positive, it now becomes S, and then these two figures negative 75 and negative 95. 95 will become positive, so it becomes 675 plus 95 minus 92. So if you do that, you are supposed to get, if you calculate it correctly there, you get 678. So it will become 678. And 678, these are the units that were sold, but we have got a unit cost of 520. Then we multiply by 520 to get the total sales. There now you get 352,560. So this becomes our sales value. So that is what we have, guys. Let's still connected. Please subscribe for more videos to come. Uh, thank you for listening. We'll meet next time on the next video.